Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about this big bag of stuff. In this bag are eyeshadow palettes that I'm just done with. I'm over them. I don't like them for one reason or another. Some I've had for a really long time and you'll see like some major throwbacks, and some are relatively new to me. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go through them, talk about why I didn't like them, why I'm getting rid of them, and that's about it. I'm going to stack them up on over here so we can see how many we have. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. Let me know if any of these palettes didn't work for you either, and let's just go ahead and get into this because there's a lot. Alright, I got this big old bag full of eyeshadow palettes. I did a major declutter. I have so much going on in these drawers over here that I am running out of space, so I decided to just kind of go through everything and really get rid of some stuff. So the first one I've got is, this is a Sephora brand Z palette. In here are eyeshadows of a mixed variety. I have a lot of ColourPop shadows, some Makeup Geek shadows, and these two square pans here are from a subscription box. They're just shadows that I never reached for, and so I'm gonna pass that on. I'm gonna give first dibs to like my sisters and stuff to see if they want it. Any of my boyfriend's friends at work, but other than that, I'll just either donate them or find a new home for them. This is a Makeup Geek reusable palette, same kind of deal. They're just like these shades that I just don't use. I just haven't been reaching for them. A lot of them, like the more cool tone browns and stuff, they're just not flattering for me. So I'm getting rid of that one. Next up, I have an Ulta Beauty palette. I think this came in one of those things, like they have those deals where if you buy like $20 worth of stuff, you get this giant box of like Ulta brand stuff, and this was in there. The only reason I was keeping this was for the blue, and I think I used it like once. I have like other blue shadows that I'll use. I like this like pink shade here and the blue shade, but it's just not something like I never even traveled with it, so it's just not worth it to me. Next up, oh, this is a Smashbox Cover Shop palette. This is the matte palette, and I like this a lot. I think the formula is really nice. You have like your cool tones over here and your warm tones over here. I just didn't really reach for it, but I don't know if I should. I have like this top drawer over here of palettes that I want to give a second chance to, so maybe I'll hold on to that one and just give it a second chance. I'm gonna put it in that drawer there. If you guys want a video of what palettes I am giving a second try, just let me know and I can definitely get that up for you. Next up is, this is the NYX Love Contours All Face and Eyes Sculpting Palette. This is a relatively new purchase for me. I picked it up from TJ Maxx. I just don't like the eyeshadows. I find that the contour products down here are really, really dark and just too pigmented for me. This highlighter appears too dark for me. And I thought the eyeshadows were just like super powdery and they weren't really anything special. So I'm not reaching for it, so I'm getting rid of it. Next is, this is the Makeup Revolution Iconic Pro 1 palette. I actually did a video using this palette a while ago on my channel when I was still living in my old apartment. It's like a regular like kind of go-to neutrals palette. I just wasn't using it. I have other palettes that I enjoy more. The formula's not bad on these at all by any means, but just not reaching for it. I feel like that's the reason that I'm getting rid of a lot of these things, but some of these I really hate. This is a NYX palette. It's called Look Set 17. I think this came in like a set with a lipstick or something. It's got like some pinks and greens and stuff. I kind of do like this pink. Okay, I might give this one a second chance. Oh my god, I can't keep doing this. I think that the reason I didn't reach for this palette was because I didn't feel like I could get a complete look out of it. You have like the cream shade up here, but you don't really have like a transition-y type of shade. But I'm gonna hold on to this one and see if I can like get a look that I like out of it, and if I don't like it, it's going. Next is, oh, this is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. My mom would really like to have this. I'll give this to her. I just don't like cool tone shadows. I think they look really dumb on me. I don't think they look flattering at all. I didn't find that these were like super pigmented. This is more of a beginner palette. or like a younger girl who's just kind of starting out in makeup, or somebody who just doesn't really wear a lot of makeup. I tend to wear like a lot of makeup. So this just doesn't flatter me very well. Formula's not that bad though. Next is, ooh, this one kind of hurts. This one kind of hurts. This is the Morphe Kathleen Lights palette. I love Kathleen Lights. I've been watching her for years. I don't know, maybe I should hold on to this one. There are shades in here that I have never touched ever. Like this one over here, I've never touched. Yeah. Maybe like this one doesn't look like it's gotten much use out of it. I have used this palette. I think I'll give this one more shot because I really do like Kathleen and I like this palette. Although I think she got like totally did not get what she deserved with this palette, because Jaclyn Hill's palette came out very shortly after this one, and she had like the fancy packaging and like the big palette size and everything, and poor Kathleen just gets like this little thing, nothing on the back. Like, I remember the box being kind of cute, but so I'm just gonna give this another try. I don't think these are spectacular eyeshadows, but I do like the color assortment, so I'll give it a shot. Going in the drawer. This is the Morphe 25A palette. I remember being so excited for this, and I use this a lot. It doesn't look like I've used it a lot, but I have used it a lot. I kind of stopped reaching for it because I got palettes like the Jaclyn Hill palette, or things that just had more, not more variety, but like just different, like similar shades. A lot of these shades, they translate pretty similarly on the eye. Like look at like this whole second row, like they're pretty similar. So I didn't think I was getting a lot of unique looks out of this. So I am gonna pass this one on. But the formula is fine, like no problems with it formula wise. I felt like the shades were like too similar. Next, this is the NYX Cosmic Metals palette. This is just full of shimmery shadows. I didn't think they were anything special. I don't think they're anything like super metallic. I mean, they look okay, but like, I don't think it's anything special. So passing that on. So far I've only kept, what, 2 palettes? So that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Next is, this is just an Anastasia quad that I made. And when I was like first getting into single eyeshadows and things like that, I really wanted to like create my own palette. I just don't reach for these. They're not bad, but I think I've maybe used it once, and that's pretty sad. So that's going. Okay. All right. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill, doesn't even say on the back what the name of it is. Oh, Bling Boss palette. This was the only one that I was remotely interested in when these Vault palettes came out, because I love purple shadows. But this was one of the worst shadow palettes I've used in a while. The shade Hush Hush is an absolute nightmare to blend out. The deeper shades are really pigmented, like Sparks and Mystic, but they have the tendency to, like, when you're blending them, they just get everywhere and you don't have any control over these. The shimmers are really pretty. I don't think they're anything special. I think that if I had to guess, I think the formula is different in these than in her other palette. I really like her other palette. This was the only one I picked up from the Vault collection, and I really tried to make it work. I used this for a really long time, and every time I use it, I was just like super unhappy with my eyeshadow. So this is gonna go. I think my sister will be happy to try it. All right, we've got the Wet n Wild Petal Pusher palette on the theme of purples. I just didn't use it. They are pretty much all shimmery shades, or they have some sort of like metallicness to them, and I don't think I can get a complete look without any mattes. I just didn't really reach for that. I really got it for like this side of the palette and not necessarily that side. I think I used it like once or twice. I like Wet n Wild eyeshadows for the most part. I don't really have a lot of Wet n Wild palettes, but I don't think it's bad. I just didn't really reach for it. Another NYX. Oh boy, I'm really killing NYX today. This is just, it just says on the bottom, the 10 color shadow palette. It's definitely an older release. That's what it looks like. I used this maybe once. We got a lot of grays and cool tone shades in there, and I now know, now that I'm not just buying everything I see, I don't like cool tone eyeshadows. The formula is fine. There are shades in here that I've literally never touched. So I'm going to pass this on to somebody who will use it. Ooh, okay. I'm getting rid of this. This is the Nikki Tutorials Power of Makeup with Too Faced. I wanted this to work so bad. I was on vacation when this released and I bought it and I was so excited for it. I think it was like 60 something dollars with like everything it came with, like the glitter, which I still have, and then the sketch marker liner and the purple mascara. What was going on with that? So I have given this quite a try. I'll just take you through very quickly the problems that I have with it. These are the only two matte shades, and while they are nice, I don't think that they go with the blues and the purples. This silver is just not flattering on me, again with the cool tone theme. These two blushes are so bright, and I think they're too bright. So when you go on your lid with like a blue or a purple, the last thing you want is like an orange blush or a hot pink blush. And I even tried to use them like on like lighter makeup days, and I just thought they were just too bright. This highlighter Champagne Truffle is very dry and very not reflective. Like I'm wearing a highlighter today from ColourPop. That's what I'm really looking for, is like that reflect or that shine, and it was really dull. The Chocolate Soleil bronzer is a smidge too dark for me. I need to use the Milk Chocolate Soleil shade. So although like I really wanted this to work, it was just like the color selection. I don't think that she should have gone with such a warm brown if she was going to include the purples and blues and things like that. And then these blush shades just don't make any sense to me at all. So I gave it a shot. Nikki, I did. I don't even watch her channel anymore. I used to watch like a couple of like favorites videos here and there, but like now it's been so long I just don't even watch her anymore. This is a Maybelline City Mini palette, and this is the Urban Jungle palette. It's like a lot of just sparkly greens and things. These are the things that I generally like. I just found that they were really hard to work with. These shades that are really like glittery over here are glitter bombs. Like you will get glitter everywhere. And there's only one matte shade in here, and it's this green. I remember it being fine, but like it's just not something I would ever really reach for. I have greens in like other palettes that I think perform better than these. And this was $10. Like that's kind of a lot, I feel like. You can get a really nice ColourPop palette for like $12, and it will be of better quality. This is the Makeup Revolution #Slay eyeshadow palette. I also featured this in my Makeup Revolution video. I didn't touch it after that video, and that was a long time ago. I really reached for like these kind of like peachy orangey shades. The pan size is so small. It's absolutely tiny. So it's very hard to get your brush in there. I do like the kind of outside packaging of it, but it's gonna go. It's gonna go. All right, we have another Makeup Geek empty palette with more loose or single shadows in there. This little tiny square one over here, I believe is from the Balm. I got that in a subscription box. Just like Makeup Geek shadows and a couple Makeup Forever shadows that came out of a palette that was like pretty bad. It was, it came in like a tin, and it was like one of the holiday releases from a couple years ago. I don't like it. I don't like it, and it's going, but I do like these little magnetic palettes. They're fantastic. Ooh, this is big. What's this? Ooh, this is the Morphe 35F palette. This was the first Morphe palette I ever got, ever. And this is what it looks like. I think that it has to be expired by now. Right? It's gotta be. I like the shades in here. You have like your row at the bottom, well, I'm holding it at the top, but at the bottom of the palette you have like your row of mattes down there. But then like I think you have too many choices, and I think that it can get confusing to figure out, like, although you have that one row of mattes to work with, I think they all look pretty much not the same but very similar on the eye. And then you have like all of these to choose from. And like I can already see like this one and this one, like they look pretty similar, and like it's hard to choose, and you want to feel like you're getting the most out of the palette, but like it's too much. So I'm gonna give this to somebody that may be like a beginner in makeup or just really starting to explore things, and that isn't really like looking to create a very intricate look. That's what I think Morphe palettes are really good for. This is a Tarte palette. It's called the Energy Noir Clay Palette. The blush in here is busted because I tried to depot it and it didn't work. It just broke. So I don't know if we can figure out why I didn't like this. It's cool tone palette and cool tones look absolutely ridiculous on me. I liked the blush. I really do like Tarte blushes, so I wanted to depot that. I tried my best and it just shattered, so we'll give up on that. This is an old one. This is a throwback. This is the Urban Decay Smoked palette. And yes, it has like a zipper on the outside. And then it came with a brush. Who knows where that went. And then these are the shades that are in there. I don't do smoky eyes very often. If I do, they're gonna be warm toned and not like blue toned. There are shades in here that I've never touched. I can see 3 shades in here that I've never touched, and I've had this palette for, I'm 26 now. I've probably had this palette for like almost 10 years. It's definitely expired. No, probably not 10 years. I gotta figure out when this was released. But I'm not a huge fan of Urban Decay eyeshadows. I just think they're kind of dry. I don't think they're anything special. So I'm gonna zip this bad boy back up and keep it away. I think there's only a few more left. Oh, this is just a Marc Jacobs The Object of Desire Face and Eye Palette. It came in here. But I took it out and put it in the magnetic palette, so this is just like the empty case. I'm just gonna give it to my mom or something. I like that palette a lot. No problems at all with that. This is the Makeup Revolution Love Conquers All palette. And I got this for free. I shopped one day at Ulta. I bought some stuff from Makeup Revolution. I believe I got like the Emily Edit palette, and they just gave me this. And I was like, okay. I used it, I think once. This big shade in the middle it's pink, but it has yellow running through it, like actual yellow, like not gold, like yellow. So I'm not sure what that is about, but it looks like you've got one matte shade over here, and then the rest are shimmer shades. It just says Makeup Pigment and Highlighter Palette. This is, I guess, a pretty highlighter. I don't reach for it. And then this black shade is loaded with glitter, so I can only imagine how that would blend out on the eye and how that would look if you were trying to manipulate it at all. So that's going. I think we have 2 more left, so I'll take those out. This is the Ulta Beauty Chocolate Mousse 6-piece eyeshadow palette. I think it came in one of those like big sets or whatever. I used this a couple times and I remember liking it, but these 2 shades, Chocolate Chips and Eclair Cake, these 2 right here, although they look different on camera, they're very similar on the eye, so I didn't feel like I could get much of a look out of it. Same with Mousse and Pudding, these 2 right here, they just look so similar that it just wasn't. It kind of smells like chocolate too. It just like wasn't my thing, so. All right, one more palette. So this last palette, I see people on YouTube that loved this and used this and got these beautiful looks from it. And I have tried, this is the original one that I have. I have tried to make this palette work for years and years and years, and I literally just can't. It's the original Velvet Packaging Urban Decay Naked palette. If you can see, I have given this some attention. I have really, really tried to make this work. This was great for me when I was in high school. I got this in high school. I graduated high school, what year is it? 2019, so like 9 years ago I graduated high school. And this was great for me back then because I was really only like hitting these like first 4 or 5 shades. The shades, like the shimmer shades are nice, like they're really not that bad, but I just don't think they pack enough of a punch for me anymore. And the biggest problem I have with this palette is there are 2 mattes. There's Naked right here and Buck right here. So you don't have like a deeper matte shade in this kind of color area to really deepen things up with. And I see like Samantha Ravindal, who I am obsessed with, she loves this palette and has made some really beautiful looks with it. And even like, I think she repurchased this, or the Chocolate Bar palette. I can't remember, I hope I'm not talking about the wrong one. Actually, I did get rid of my Chocolate Bar palette because it broke. But I want this to work because it's like a cult classic. But every time I've done my eyeshadow with this lately, I just haven't liked it. So I think like, why keep it around in my collection? But then I'm like, but it's such a classic. Maybe I should keep this. Maybe I should hold on to it and look up some YouTube tutorials that are like relatively new. and kind of see what people are doing with it. And then I'll decide. So, okay. So all in all, I've kept 3 palettes. I've kept the Urban Decay Naked palette. I kept the Morphe Kathleen Lights palette. And I also kept the NYX, this one that doesn't have a name. So out of all those palettes, keeping 3 really isn't that bad. So if you guys want to see a video on me trying those palettes or just a video on the ones that I am giving like a second try, I have a whole drawer of them over here. Including one very, very old one. I think it's like older than the Naked palette, kind of throwback. So let me know down below what you guys are getting rid of or considering getting rid of. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.